Hey, what's up everyone? It's Zolbeck. Today we are gonna speak about the new class in New World Aeternum called the Destroyer. The Destroyer is the good old Bruiser. The Bruiser is one of the build that is the most used in war. The Great Axe Warhammer are like a perfect combo to have some crowd control. With the Great Axe you can clump the people up, and with the hammer you can stun the people. So it's like two crowd control that like complement each other pretty well. And when you are multiple bruiser walking together, it make it even stronger. Like having the hammer, you can CC chain the people. It's like you stun them, you stun them, and you stun them, and then your friend is there just on your side, and he's doing the same thing with the hammer, and then you people are just getting melted if they are not doing the same thing. So yeah, in war, what you're gonna see the most is destroyer. They are just there on playing the point objective. They're the sword and shield and spear too, but right now we are talking about the destroyer. And if you use this build, you're almost sure to get a war stud. But when you are leveling up at the start, what happened is oh, it's so cute. What happened is the hammer gonna be almost useless to level up, so you're almost better to just take a hatchet. The hatchet have a lot of haste, so you're gonna be able to do your quest really quick at the start. Um, you use the great axe. The great axe have good movement too, and the hatchet, and together you're gonna be able to speedrun your quest really quick, and it's like almost the best way for you to do it. And then when you reach the level to do some dungeon, you almost better to use your great axe and a spear, because great axe and hammer, like people will not like you that much. You can do like low level dungeon with that, but when you get to the high tier dungeon, people try to do like leaderboard run. You cannot use the great axe and hammer. It's not like a good combo in Diablo for this. So you're gonna switch your hammer for a spear, and like this you're sure to do it good. You can do great axe and great sword too, but the great sword, you need to be good at the game to use it, because there's the onslaught stance that make you take 15% more damage. So it's only if you're really good at the game then you can take it. You can do maybe more DPS. You can do more DPS with the great sword and great axe together than the great axe and the spear, but it's gonna be way harder to play, and you need to have a spear in your group too, just for the you need to have some buff and debuff, and on the mob too, you need to have some buff and debuff, mostly some debuff on the enemy. So yeah, by doing that, you're gonna be able to get in most of the dungeon, and people are gonna like you, and you're not gonna have to change your build too much. But you know, in high dungeon mutation, you're gonna have to go light armor. You in war and PvP, you can go medium like this, but you can go light and EV too. It's viable. It's really hard to go light. It's easier to go EV. But when you manage to get down the light build, it can be really, really fun. Mostly, uh, when you chase down healer and squishy people, if you use it as a light armor, this is mostly what you're gonna do, because if you get in the middle of the clump, you're gonna die. So by taking off your gravity well, you're gonna be able to put like the reap. So you're gonna be able to catch up to people and to melt them. Because if you keep your grav well, it's still possible to make some plays, it's still possible to do some nice game. But you're gonna be way more constant if you take off the gravity well for some solo play. And then when you play with people, then you use your grav well and you combo it together. Like you call your grav well and people are gonna play off the grav well. If you have nobody to play off the grav well, it's almost useless. And someone who's good, like a mage and a healer, they are so used to dodge the stuff around that they hear the noise of the gravity well. They don't need to see you. You can be in the back, in my back, and throwing your grav well. I'm a dodge it for sure. There's no question. The grav well is easy to dodge if you have a headset, just by the noise cue. It do be how it is. So yeah, the Gravity Well, you're gonna see in the game overall, its ability is really overrated, but at the same time, it's not overrated. That's because like in dungeon without the Gravwell, it's different. There's some dungeon that have less mob in, so you don't really need to clump the target. But in most of the dungeon, you have to throw the Gravity Well just to bring the mob all together and then melt it. So yeah, it's kind of it. And your weapon perk are really important. You're gonna see let's say the Gravity Well as example. The gravity well do 50%. I think it's 100% more damage when you have the weapon perk. Maybe they nerfed it and it's 50% now. But when you have the weapon perk, you're doing more damage, so you want the weapon perk of gravity well, and you're leeching life of the people you are doing damage, so you gain back some health at the same time. And you see its ability that you can use on a lot of mobs or people, even in PvP, and when it blow, you get the health of the whole clump together. It's satisfying, it feels good. And yeah, so it's the same for the Enfeebling Maelstrom. It's one of the best perk in the game. Even in PvE against the mobs, it reduces the enemy. The damage they do is reduced by like 33% if it's on the Great Axe. So like the mobs in dungeon do 33% less damage. It's by a lot. And there's a cap. It's 50% weaken that you can add, so you can have auto ability like that, like the skewer, and both gonna add together, the skewers and the spear, and both gonna add together, and it's gonna be just 50% slow, not slow weaken, and that's perfect. And the cap is almost 50% in everything in the game if you want to remember it. 50% Ren, 50% weaken, 50% haste, 50% slow, 50% empower cap. Like there's a lot like that. There's some stuff that are uncapped, but it's almost impossible. Everything is like cap around this, and it's a easy way to like remember it like that. Uh, if you want, you can tank dungeon with your you just keep your hammer and you use a sword and shield and you tank. It's playable in PvP too, but your build's gonna be medium and you're gonna have to do a whole different build to do that. So you're almost better to go uh, DPS. But when the dungeon are really easy at the start, when you're doing the easy content, you can go as a bruiser just like that in medium armor and tank the dungeon almost. They're gonna ask you to have a carnelian into your stuff, so you can just change sword and shield and stay medium, or just put a carnelian in your hammer. You're gonna be fine. Like you do. I think yeah, a lot of dungeon with hatchet hammer, great sword hammer. Both are like good combo. Even in the high tier dungeon like Genesis, hatchet hammer is like one of the good tank combo. And then in light armor, you can tank. But yeah, like don't kill lobby because you're trying to tank like doing noob stuff. Like yeah, don't listen to me on this when I think about that. So yeah, if you guys want to be on war, this is gonna be one of the easiest build to get in war with. But since everyone want the same piece, the same armor, the same weapon, it's the build that is costing the most. The Bruiser is the build that is costing the most. At the start, there was some healer item too that was costing a lot, like it was a healing ring. It was really specific and it was costing like 2 million at the start, and then the price go down, and they added some stuff in the game that made now the ring is very low price compared to what it was. And yeah, so most of the people, what's gonna happen is they are buying gold. Most of the bruiser, because they are just there to do war. They don't want to do the other content. So if you don't want to have to do dungeon, you're gonna have to do like the utter bruiser. They are just buying gold and item, and when they are done with that account, they are just trying to warlog. They're just warlogging into that account and creating another account and buying gold again with their in real life money, and then they have like two or three accounts like that that are just logging in for war. And they try to not have the war all at the same hour so you can just do it. But yeah, it's a lot of time wasted in your life if you do that. You can do it. It's fun. Yeah, like I recommend to do it during a moment, but put it to end somewhere because in your world the competitive is not giving you money. So all the time and effort that you are putting in, you are wasting it, and it's a lot of time and effort to become a really good company. I know I owned territory with my company, with some friend company, like, and it's so much time invested in trying to always keep some player in. It's hard, really, really hard. You almost people are stealing each other player, like the team, because finding good player that know how to do war, you need to take them from another company. You cannot have people who know how to do war that never did war. Like they need to be somewhere and it's into other companies. So people are just doing big drama to big drama. Oh yeah, there's big drama in there. But yeah, that video is pretty long. I'm gonna probably do more about New World soon. So I wish everyone a good day. Peace out.
An orb on low.
I don't know how I survived that.
Behind us, but
Nice job, Bill.
Holy shit, I got
Oh!
fucking super fucking speed, bro.
Let's go.
Yo.
Holy shit, dude. Look at this shit. Wow, bro.
That's so busted. They gotta fix that.
Sacred.
Grab set.
Hit my sacred on.
Are my grab in front of the door?
Regrab and the orb. Orb.
Stopping. Scream.
Hit on it.
Uh, 5 seconds till full combo.
I got the sacred on you. Bro, this is crazy. Can't fucking catch me, bro.
Look at them, they got a trash talk. Hard.
Let's go. That was fun. That
Damn,
is
you
so
just
bad.
put those kids on YouTube, bro.
Yeah, the quad, I'm gonna put it for sure. Why not?